So the Club World Cup group stage is over, and what did we learn from match day 3 of the Club World Cup? Well, we learned that Manchester City are on fire. Argentinian league, disappointment, OFC history for Auckland City, and the CAF teams. Did they disappoint, or was it an average tournament by them? But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What did you learn from the group stage of the Club World Cup, and what are you anticipating for the knockout stages? So number one, of course, is Auckland City getting a draw against Boca Juniors. Do we understand the implications and the magnitude of this result for Auckland City and for OFC football? Like, this is one of the greatest results ever. Like, Tahiti scoring a goal in the Confederations Cup, or when New Zealand went undefeated in the 2010 World Cup. This result by Auckland City, these guys are part-timers. Some people call them 9 to 5 FC because they all have jobs. Like, the football is just a hobby for them. And they went up against Cavani, Rojo, and all these players for Boca Juniors, and yet they still got a point. They got their first ever goal after losing by 16 goals in the previous 2 games against Benfica and Bayern Munich to get a point. And we'll talk about Boca Juniors later in this video, but I mean, what a historical moment for Auckland City and OFC football. And they made $1 million from this draw. You gotta love it, man. What a moment. And the goal scorer, he's a high school teacher or a teacher. Yeah, he'll be telling his students for the rest of his life, hey, you know what I did? I scored a goal against Boca Juniors in the Club World Cup. These are the moments that I love, and hopefully this can now be the starting point for the OFC as a region, because we know the domestic game is really semi-professional. Like, there's no professional teams. Obviously, I think there's like a plan to combine the whole region and have like a big like super league of OFC teams, which would be good. But for Auckland City and this moment, and a huge congrats to every Auckland City fan out there, if there is any, this is a massive moment for them, and to get a point against Boca Juniors is crazy. And then speaking of Boca, Argentinian teams, no puede ser. Triste, vergüenza, fracaso. What other words you want in Spanish, people? I'm not really surprised by Boca because I just know that they are trash this year. Like, you lose to Alianza Lima in the Copa Libertadores qualifying rounds. I knew heading into this Club World Cup, and I saw that group. Look, they were impressive against Benfica. They really should have beat them. They were valiant in effort against Bayern Munich. But to draw against Auckland City, which is worse, people? Losing to Alianza Lima, who are actually a professional team in the Copa Libertadores, at home, granted, for Boca, or drawing 1-1 with Auckland City, a semi-professional team. I think drawing to Auckland City is actually worse. Because then Cavani comes after the game and says, oh, it was difficult to play against a team that are defensive. You really cannot make this up. Either these guys are smoking the craziest strand of weed, or they're just really delusional. This has to be a massive wake-up call to Riquelme and the entire Boca board, even though they're probably all just drunk and just drinking Fernet all the time. But you look at Boca, and there's no talent with this team. And some of the signings they've made for this season haven't worked out. You look at the talent pool, it's just not there for Boca. And this is an overall picture of Argentinian football as the league. The national team, we know, they're cooking. That's why all their talented players, they go to Europe. They go to Brazil. Heck, they're even going to the MLS. The Argentinian league is falling behind and behind and behind more. And I'm actually really disappointed in River because they brought back Gallardo. They made some signings. The signings, I didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Even though Castano in the midfield, I really like him from Colombia. But River Plate were a disappointment. Yes, Inter, they just lost 5-0. Still a strong team. You should be going ahead of Monterrey in the group stage of that group. I'm sorry, River Plate fans. So this is a huge indictment of the league. But the league has been falling behind the Brazilian league for a long time. Of course, Racing winning the Copa Sudamericana last year was a beautiful sight, and they just destroyed Botafogo in the Recopa. But Racing have only been one example for the last couple of years. Yeah, Boca made it to Copa Libertadores. They won every single tie on penalties. Every single tie. So I'm really worried about the future for this league. I don't know what's going to happen with the privatization of clubs. You know, obviously Argentinian fans are very strongly against it. But, you know, the president, he wants to do it. What is Tapia, the Chiqui Tapia? I mean, the guy he's deluded. How can you have a league that is 30 teams in the first division? 30 teams! They have to completely redefine the first division. It is so simple. Brazil have given you the blueprint if you're Argentina. 20 teams, one league, boom. Settled. It's not that hard to do. Whereas in Argentina, we need the apertura, we need the clausura. It's just such a mess, and the league has no money. You're seeing horrible things for San Lorenzo, who are not even able to play their players. So it's really such a sad situation for the league, even though they're developing talent over and over and over again. But the domestic game, the domestic teams, they are falling behind, and this Club World Cup exemplifies it more that Argentinian teams can't compete at international level. You'll have the one sequence of a Racing winning the Copa Sudamericana, but River Plate should be doing better. Boca Juniors should be doing much better for the size of the club, the fans they have. Like, both of the teams were a disappointment. More River Plate because I expected more of them. Boca, they fought, but then that draw against Auckland City just brought me back down to earth and said, yeah, these two teams, they're going to fall behind even more behind the Brazilian teams. Madrid look good, people. And slowly but surely, it takes time. Remember the reaction after the first game against Al Hilal? Oh, Xabi Alonso, what is he doing? He's trying to play this style of football. We didn't really see the back three. Time. Patience. That's what you need if you're a Madrid fan. I know some of the Madrid fans are the most impatient bunch in the world, but you have to just be patient. New team, new manager, some new players into the starting 11. Slowly but surely it will start to cook. And you saw yesterday, Tchouaméni kind of play in a back five. You're seeing the style that Xabi Alonso wants to play with this team. Arda Güler just cooking in the midfield. Arda Güler is just the engine now of that midfield alongside Valverde, where Arda Güler is the pass before the pass, right? Where he gets it out wide to Vini or to Trent, and then it gets into the final third of the opponent's box. But I think Madrid are starting to look very good, and it's going to take time to build the chemistry and much more of the simple combination play. Last year with Ancelotti in the last couple of years, it's very much been hero ball. Whereas now it's a bit more team-oriented. So I'm starting to like this Real Madrid team, and we know they got the talent. There's no denying the talent they got. And you saw how Vini performed yesterday. Garcia, the striker, doing very well in the absence of Mbappe. So I think Madrid, if they can add maybe one more piece, like a left back, oh, they're going to look good for next season. It's going to be such a fascinating battle between them and Barcelona. And we'll see what Atleti are cooking as well. But Real Madrid, slowly but surely, are cooking in this tournament. They have Juventus in the round of 16, but I expect Madrid to get past Juventus because Juventus right now are not the greatest of sides defensively. But Madrid, patience, fans. Your team will start to cook, and I think Arda Güler is going to have a really big season. You know, people wanted him to kind of be that creative number 10. I think playing as an 8 alongside Valverde and then Tchouaméni kind of dropping deep into that back 5, I think it will suit Arda Güler more because his passing range and his eye for a pass, it's just such like Ozil-esque. I just love Arda Güler, one of my favorite players, and he didn't get a lot of opportunities last season, but this year, I think he's going to have a big year, and you saw how Vini plays, so people just got to be patient. This is disgusting. Manchester City. I know it's not the strongest of opponents because Juventus were rotating their side, but Man City got two strong teams, and I love Pep, right? And I think he got a lot of wrongful criticism last year. Yes, you can criticize him for some tactics and lineup choices, but the dude is one of the greatest managers of all time. You really think he was going to have back-to-back seasons of poor years? Now, we haven't gone into the 25-26 season, but you look at the additions that Manchester City have made. Ait Nouri, perfect in the left-back position. Reinders is so good. And I don't want to repeat myself, but you have to just acknowledge a baller like Thierry Reinders. And alongside Rodri now, who started his first game since, I think, coming back from ACL injury. Oh, Manchester City are going to look scary next season. Right. They look scary, but they also look very entertaining. Last year, they were boring, people. Come on, let's be honest. They were so boring to watch. Side to side, no ideas, no creativeness. It was just such bland football. It was salt and pepper football. Now, we're getting piri-piri football. We're adding ahi to the mix right here for Manchester City because Savinho, Doku in a kind of new role, playing as that kind of inside forward. I think that kind of suits Doku more, but we'll see how that develops even more. But one thing is for sure, we'll see if Man City are going to be title contenders, which I expect them to be. One thing is guaranteed, they will be a lot more entertaining than last season. And the options they have, Haaland, Marmoush, Savinho, Doku, Cherki, Foden, Oscar Bob. Who on earth is going to stop that? It's going to have to be an heroic effort from an Arsenal and Liverpool with their new additions to stop this Manchester City team. Obviously, defensively, they still have a lot of question marks, but entertainment-wise, Man City might be back. And hey, that's a good thing for neutrals and a scary thing if you're a rival fan in the Premier League. I don't know whether this was a positive, a negative, or an average tournament from the CAF teams because none of them progressed to the round of 16. Obviously, Esperance de Tunis won their game against LAFC, and Mamelodi Sundowns beat Ulsan HT. I think it was an average tournament. Obviously, you've seen like 2 CONCACAF teams progress to the next round. Obviously, the Saudi teams, because of the crazy budget that Al Hilal have, made it to the round of 16. So I think it was just an average tournament. The team you're probably most disappointed in is Al Ahly because, I mean, those guys played such good football against Porto and Inter Miami, yet got 2 points. They should have won both of those games, finished either first or second in Group A, and they deserved it because they played good football. But the amount of chances they missed in both of those games is sacrilegious, and you cannot advance to the knockout stages if you're going to constantly miss chances there. Wydad, I didn't give them a chance against Juventus and Manchester City. Same for Esperance de Tunis against Chelsea and Flamengo. Mamelodi Sundowns, I think they did well. They kind of gassed out in the second half against Fluminense. So I would say this was an average tournament from the CAF teams. They have very difficult groups. And maybe you could say that should have Wydad really qualified to this tournament, Esperance de Tunis. Obviously, Al Ahly and Mamelodi Sundowns have been consistently good sides in the CAF Champions League the last couple of years. But I wonder what CAF people think. Do you think this is a positive tournament, a negative tournament, or what you were expecting from these teams? CAF probably have like 2 strong competitors in this competition. Now they need to add 2 more ahead of the next edition of the Club World Cup in 2029. So overall, I would say it was an average tournament from the CAF teams. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, people. What did you learn from match day 3 of the Club World Cup, and what are you expecting for the knockout stages? Remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Remember to follow me on all the socials, Twitter, Instagram, join the Discord, all those links, description down below. And if you want to support the channel, there's the Patreon, the membership here on the channel as well. But have a beautiful day. Stay safe in this crazy world. Till next time, adios.